You know, a lot of people are making a big deal over absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was reported by Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer podcast, Wrestling Observer Live, Wrestling Observer newsletter, that Ronda Rousey is going to be done with the WWE following WrestleMania. Now, I read this, and I had awoken from a deep sleep on Friday morning, and my phone was going crazy with people who I know personally who watch me and what I do here on the channel, or people that have my number and are interested in my wrestling knowledge. JD, is this a legit story? What do you make of this Ronda Rousey news? I'm looking at my phone at like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, Jesus Christ, my eyes aren't even open yet. And I'm over here talking about fucking Ronda Rousey. I'm looking at the story. I get up, I go to a website or several websites, and I see what's being reported. I look on my Twitter, I see who's talking about it. So, in my half-asleep state, I come to the conclusion myself that it's nothing but bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Now, before we get into what Meltzer reported and then what Rousey had to say as she fired back at Dave Meltzer, I want you guys to sit there and legitimately ask yourself a serious question, or a serious line of questions. Number one, why would WWE sign Ronda Rousey for 1 year? Hey, come on into the company, do what you gotta do, and goodbye. That doesn't make sense to me. In a day and age, especially now, where WWE is locking up talent to multi-year deals, you don't think they sat down with Ronda Rousey and signed her to a 2 or 3 year contract? So, it was reported around SummerSlam. This is not new news. It was reported during SummerSlam and going on into Survivor Series. Ronda Rousey wants to start a family. Ronda Rousey wants to have children. Nothing out of the ordinary there. And she would not be the first of women in WWE who are under contract who still compete at a high level in WWE. And if she has to take a step back in order to do that, I don't think WWE is going to have any issue with Ronda Rousey wanting to take a little break, have some kids, come back when she's ready, and resume what WWE expects Ronda Rousey to do. Number two, and this is the biggest part of it all, WWE is moving SmackDown Live to Fox Sports in October. Fox Sports, on more than one occasion, has requested Ronda Rousey to be a part of the SmackDown Live roster. What would the deal be, or how good would the deal be, if WWE shows up in October and tells Fox Sports, yeah, Ronda Rousey only signed a 1 year deal, so she's no longer with the company? Fox Sports is probably going to look at Vince McMahon with 6 fucking eyes and just ask him, well, we signed this deal and we offered to give you this much money because of Ronda Rousey being a big part of it all. And now you're telling us that she's not there? Or she's not with the company? So WWE, everybody thinks that WWE would go out there and flagrantly just dangle Ronda Rousey as like, oh, look at what we got over here. Give us a $1 billion contract. And then not show up to the dance with Ronda Rousey. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ludicrous that people read everything first time on social media and jump at the worst case scenario. Oh, there goes Ronda Rousey. Oh, there goes Fox Sports. Ronda Rousey not there with the WWE. Really? Come on, people. You gotta sit down and think logically. It's not that difficult to figure out. I read this bullshit, and I'm like, okay, she's going to do a Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar usually does what he's got to do from the Rumble to WrestleMania, shows up at WrestleMania. Whether he wins or loses, it really doesn't matter at this point. He goes away, and we don't see him on the entire road to SummerSlam, maybe once or twice. There's barely any build for a Lesnar Universal Championship match. He'll show up at SummerSlam and then go away again till Survivor Series. It's not this bizarre unknown practice that we have to get used to. We're already, as fans, conditioned for this type of scenario. If Ronda goes away after WrestleMania, who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? Really? She ain't going away forever. She's going away for just a little bit. I would even bank on it that after WrestleMania, she takes a break, she tries to have kids with her husband, and then she comes back at SummerSlam. She'll make a guest appearance at SummerSlam. If she gets pregnant, she gets pregnant. Happy for her, good for her. She wants that in her life. She'll have the kid. She'll come back by next year. What's the big deal? What is the big deal? As long as she is a presence on WWE television, as long as she is still a contracted employee, you think WWE is going to allow, I guess Ronda Rousey to just go out there and have a life and have a kid and get pregnant and do all this shit? Absolutely they are. They're absolutely going to give Ronda whatever she wants. This is what she wants. And I am sure that Ronda already told Vince and Triple H and Stephanie and everybody else that was there when she signed on the dotted line that, I don't want to make too much of a full-time commitment. I do want life at home. I do want to try and settle down and have a family. You don't think WWE looked at her and said, absolutely, Ronda, no question? Of course they did. So everybody's blowing this shit completely out of proportion. I don't see WWE ever disrespecting Ronda Rousey in that way, not giving her what she wants, not giving her time to do what she wants to do in her personal life. And I just don't see Ronda Rousey going away like everybody's reporting, oh, she's done with WWE after WrestleMania. Not with Fox Sports looming in October. What fucking dummy is reporting that? Then there were reports, oh, Ronda Rousey may stick around for a month or two. Really? WWE, if Ronda wants to go and have kids after WrestleMania, go have kids and do what you got to do. As long as you're ready by next WrestleMania, I'm good to go. I'm fine with that. Because people really aren't looking at the bigger picture. Now, I was very, very against Ronda being given the championship based on who Ronda Rousey is. I was of that opinion back during Money in the Bank. And I will not sit here and bullshit you guys. I looked at Ronda as a Brock Lesnar-like, not in the way where she doesn't show up to work. She's worked Raw, she's done house shows, she's done the whole gauntlet. But she's similar in a way of Brock Lesnar, where WWE gave Lesnar the Universal Championship. They have not built up all the other championships on Monday Night Raw, so there really isn't anything for anyone in that upper echelon main event scene to fight for, because Lesnar's holding the title hostage, sabotaging it, or WWE is sabotaging the Universal Championship. And I find it funny that Eric Bischoff actually quoted saying, who gives a shit about the Universal Championship? It's worthless. I gotta agree with him. I think everybody agrees with him. But Brock Lesnar has the Universal Championship, which leads everybody on Monday Night Raw to not really having anything to fight for. That's the similarity that I'm trying to make with Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey's held the Women's Championship, and by doing that, yes, you're getting the women's division in a spotlight. Yes, you're building around Ronda Rousey, and you're bringing eyes, or what I hope are new eyes to the products. Great marketing as Ronda Rousey is the Raw Women's Champion, ESPN and Forbes and all this mainstream coverage. Yes, I understand that aspect of the business. I'm not a fucking idiot. But what you're also doing is that everybody you put in the ring with Ronda Rousey up until she eventually loses at WrestleMania, which I'm assuming is the case, everybody that steps in the ring with Ronda Rousey is automatically going to take an L. And by that, you're kind of burying the division. Has anyone really looked good being in the ring with Ronda Rousey outside of Charlotte Flair? No, they have not. Everybody that's been in the ring with Ronda Rousey hasn't really gotten a rub that I can sit here and say was good for them. I'm hoping it's different with Sasha Banks. But outside of Charlotte Flair, you can't really say with Ronda Rousey being the Raw Women's Champion and her being in the division with everybody else that everybody that she's been in the ring with has gotten a proper rub. No, they haven't. They haven't. And I don't give a shit who you name off. No Alexa, no Nia, nobody. And everybody that you do put in the ring with Ronda Rousey is an automatic loss, unless you're a Becky Lynch or Charlotte Flair. Now, there are positives to this. There is a positive to Ronda Rousey being in the position that she's in on Raw as the Raw Women's Champion. Those are the negatives. But the big positive here is, with Ronda Rousey at the helm, we were just fortunate enough, we were gifted a true evolution of women's wrestling. And with Ronda Rousey as the Raw Women's Champion, this was the Kickstarter for everything that happened with Becky Lynch. That piece was in place. Becky did what she did at SummerSlam, and then miraculously, out of nothing, Becky Lynch made woman. Made woman. Charlotte Flair, better now than I've ever seen Charlotte Flair, as a character and as an in-ring performer. So with Ronda Rousey now being in place as the Raw Women's Champion, it led to Becky Lynch doing everything that she did. And when Becky Lynch just took off and took the fucking brass ring and ran with it, everything else just seemed to make sense because she had Ronda Rousey in place. And now look at what Ronda and her influence is doing now, more so after the fact with Becky and Charlotte. And I'm hoping Sasha does get a rub on Sunday night. We're getting a monumental, hopeful WrestleMania main event with Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda Rousey. I'm hoping a unification match. And Ronda, knowing that she's such a huge fan of the business, you know that Ronda's going to want to do the right thing and put herself in a position to make someone else the torchbearer. She's going to pass that torch. She's going to lay down and do the job for whomever it is on that night, whether it's Charlotte or Becky Lynch, because she knows that's the right decision. And with Ronda Rousey being built up like she has been, you know, we're getting that at WrestleMania, hopefully. And if she hasn't been put in that situation, we might not get this great storyline. We might not get what is to come at WrestleMania. We might not get one of those women, preferably Becky, getting a WrestleMania moment and a career-defining moment that will live with them forever. That is a huge positive to Ronda Rousey being on WWE television in the time she debuted at WrestleMania up until now, this year at WrestleMania. So when you really look back at my complaints originally, they're minuscule in the grand scheme of things. I've grown into Ronda Rousey being in the position that she's in because of what is happening around Ronda Rousey. And you have to be open to that. So yes, Ronda Rousey could be done after WrestleMania. Only for the time being. Doesn't mean that she's done with WWE. Doesn't mean she's going away forever. WWE is going to grant this woman whatever she wants, and rightfully so. Because the influence that she's had so far is worth everything. And looking back at how the WWE's treated the women's division, I've said it multiple times. In 2018, we finally got a true sense of an evolution. You don't think it sparked something in those women knowing that Ronda Rousey is there, that piece was in place? You don't think it sparked anything else in those women to try and achieve even more success? Go out there and be better than the men on any single given night? The women have been the best thing about this company. Not everybody, but what's going on in the women's division right now with Becky and Charlotte and Ronda, Asuka, is the best thing on WWE television right now. There's not one other thing on the main roster that has generated interest outside of that more so. So the influence that Ronda has had has made everybody else better. Becky has stepped it up. Asuka stepped it up. Charlotte has stepped it up. I've not seen the intensity in the women like I have with these three. And all the time that WWE was building up the evolution of women's wrestling. Something was missing. Something was desperately missing. Ronda Rousey was that fucking key in place. She was that fucking key in the fucking keyhole. You turned that key and it unlocked everything. It unlocked Becky Lynch and the Becky we got now. Charlotte's been better than ever. So if Ronda wants to go away after WrestleMania, go away. Because everything that she's done up until this point and will culminate at WrestleMania, it was all worth it. Ronda Rousey giving herself to the WWE giving her the Women's Championship has led us to building an entire evolution, a true feeling that women's wrestling is now defined. Becky's better off for it. Charlotte's better off for it. And what I hope is a continuation when Becky or Charlotte, preferably Becky, beats Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. That is going to make whoever is in the ring with them after the fact that much better. Whether it's a Ruby Riott or a Sasha Banks or an Ember Moon or anybody else that they want to call up from NXT. I hope so. I hope so. Is Ronda Rousey going away? No. Ronda Rousey's not going away. Maybe for a little bit to do what she wants to do. But even at that point, she's done literally everything that WWE's asked of her, plus some. Just look at the state of the women's division now as we go into the Royal Rumble on Sunday and WrestleMania. And I don't want to hear bullshit from anybody. The women's storyline going into the Royal Rumble and the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble is the biggest talking point on Sunday night. What's happening with Becky? What's happening with Charlotte? So if you don't think that Ronda Rousey has a direct influence over everything that's happening at the Royal Rumble, you're a fool. The women's division going into the Royal Rumble is the most talked about subject in Phoenix right now. How is it going to happen? What are they going to do? Who's going to win it? Is Becky going to be in the Royal Rumble? Is Charlotte going to win the Royal Rumble? Will we get a 1994 do-over again with the women in 2019? Is there going to be a triple threat match? Is Becky going to get shafted? All these questions are the biggest questions in WWE. What do they all have in common? It's because it's the women's division. Ronda Rousey's not done with the WWE, folks. Maybe for a little bit, but she'll be back. And those two things, the fact that she wants to have kids, who cares? And WWE really allowing Ronda Rousey to just walk when Fox demands Ronda Rousey on SmackDown Live come October. Come on. Just ridiculous to even think Ronda is not going to be with the WWE come the fall. Now, Ronda did fire back at these reports. It was leaked by Dave Meltzer. Ronda Rousey wants to keep her private life private away from WWE. Kind of hard when you got your own vlogging channel and you document everything that's important to you on YouTube. But she does want to have a family with Travis Brown. Now, additional reports have stated that Ronda Rousey could stick around after WWE, does what they need to do with her at WrestleMania, but a drastically reduced schedule similar to The Undertaker or John Cena or a Brock Lesnar is definitely going to be in place for Ronda Rousey. That doesn't mean she's going away. Okay? It's no secret that Rousey has said numerous times in the past that she wanted to have children with her husband, but she's not going to talk to anybody about the timing of when that will happen. Rousey fired back at the report with a statement released through ESPN, and they did it through Ramona Shelburne, who is a regular collaborator with the former UFC Women's Champion. Now, this is directly correlating with a report from The Observer and Dave Meltzer. Now, Dave Meltzer said she's working full-time through WrestleMania, and maybe, WrestleMania was the date on the books that she was finishing up as of last week. Wrestling, and I know wrestling, that if it gets really big, that she's leaving after WrestleMania, she'll want to surprise people. Vince will want to surprise people. They may make it go for a month. If she was a dude, he says, she would be working the Saudi show in May. And if there's any chance women can work that show, I'm sure they'll put her on the first one, which who the hell knows what's going on over there. The point I said is she may work another month or two. It's like I wrote, there's no hard date, end quote. So Rousey did fire back and said, and I quote, I honestly don't know why anyone feels like they're an authority to speak on the plans for my uterus. If I responded to every single report, every single time the world speculated what I was doing with my womb, I would not have a free moment in the day. I really don't feel like I should have to respond to that type of thing. It's my vagina, my life. Keep the speculations to yourself. Leave me and my reproductive organs alone. End quote. I don't know what to say, people. I don't know what to say. Obviously, Rousey didn't flat out deny that she might be leaving WWE or possibly working a reduced schedule after WrestleMania, but she certainly isn't going to justify rumors based around her private life. Now, it's worth noting that Rousey has spoken extensively about her plans to start a family. Back in 2015, she told Fox Sports, I'm an ovarian gold mine. I can't waste these genes. She said that last year. And she told ESPN, husband Travis Brown and I had a set timeline set, and now we aren't so sure about it because I love WWE so much. I guess that's the best thing that could have happened, that I would love it so much, it would be hard to stop. End quote. So this is not new news, like I stated, people. Now, Rousey is scheduled to defend her Raw Women's title Sunday at the Royal Rumble, where she takes on Sasha Banks in one of the featured matches on the undercard. There are high expectations for Rousey to take part in one of the main event matches at WrestleMania, including a potential long-awaited showdown with SmackDown Women's Superstar, or possible champion by the end of the Royal Rumble. I have no idea what WWE's got planned. Becky Lynch. What Rousey's plans are after WrestleMania remain a mystery, but if she's taking time off to start a family, she made it clear that she'll be the one to make that announcement and no one else. Now, she goes on to finally state, and I quote, I've not kept it a secret that I would definitely want to start a family. But how do you go about doing that? I love this way more than I thought I would, so do you just keep going until you just happen to get pregnant? Or should you stop and try to get pregnant? Or is going and trying to get pregnant putting yourself on the spot and then you're less likely to get pregnant? I've never had a baby before. I don't know these kinds of things. It would be kind of cool to just keep acting and then one day, hey, surprise twist, I'm pregnant. That would be fun. There's a lot of things up in the air, a lot of decisions that we've got to make as a family. I'm trying to figure out if it's going to be right, and I'm going to try and figure it out as I continue to go along, end quote. It's pretty much what she stated. I don't know what the best way to go about it is. I would honestly take the road of just go away and relieve yourself of the stress. Give yourself some quality time at home, some peaceful time at home. You've done listen, Ronda Rousey has done literally everything the WWE has asked of her. I don't think that they're ever going to have an issue with her wanting to go away and trying to have kids. She gets pregnant, she gets pregnant. And if so, people, and I think Fox is going to respect that. I think WWE is going to respect that. I think the fans are going to respect that. She'll be back next year. She'll be back next year for WrestleMania. And then WWE can have Ronda Rousey for another year if they want. Or as long as she wants to continue doing this because she loves doing the pro wrestling deal. I don't think we should have a problem if Ronda Rousey is going to go away because everything that she's done so far has legitimately made the women's division better in the grand scheme of things. Just look at Becky and Charlotte right now. Ronda Rousey is there. She's made these two the standout women in the division, and this year will be the first time in the fucking history of this company that the women have a chance to main event WrestleMania. What else does this woman need to do? If she wants to have kids, I honestly think that's a good trade-off. Her influence has been felt all over. And now it's time WWE, if this is what she wants to do, gives her the respect to go and live her life and then come back. She ain't going anywhere. Where's she going? She can do whatever the fuck she wants. She could go back to UFC. I don't see that happening. She could go wrestle with somewhere else. WWE's not going to allow that to happen. Ronda Rousey will be WWE for life. She ain't going anywhere. Honestly think this has been blown out of proportion, and people need to really think before they act, speak, or state anything here or on Twitter. She ain't going anywhere. And if she does, she's going to be the Undertaker, John Cena, Brock Lesnar of WWE. She ain't going anywhere, people. Just wanted to make that very well known. This is Off the Script. It is January 26th, folks. It is Saturday. You know what tonight is? Johnny Wrestling and Ricochet for the North American Championship. It is your TakeOver Saturday. This is Off the Script right before we hit TakeOver Phoenix. And I got a ton of news for you guys, including WWE being concerned about the New Day possibly being interested in All Elite Wrestling. A new focus on tag team wrestling in WWE. And is WWE ready to just bring out the super team of Rey Mysterio and Andrade Cien Almas to SmackDown Live? All that plus so much more right here on 258, part number 2. This is Off the Script. Off this shitty fucking product by coming on here and speaking the fucking goddamn truth about this fucking filth.
I can book a better show taking a fucking dump after eating my fucking Chipotle chorizo with extra cheese.
I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Have I ever? Of course not.
WWE is great, man. Fuck you, Japan, and Kenny Omega, Okada. Delete! What is it, man? Can I suck your dick? What is it, man?
Well, this is the #1 fucking podcast.
Right here on YouTube.com!
This is Off the Script. So, it was yesterday afternoon, man. I'm on YouTube, and then I see WWE's YouTube channel upload a video with Sasha Banks and a detailed inside look as to what Sasha Banks is doing as far as getting ready to train for her match with Ronda Rousey at the Royal Rumble on Sunday night. Most of the video was filmed at the House of Glory Academy in Brooklyn, New York. And most of the video was Sasha Banks training in a House of Glory ring. Most of the video was the Amazing Red giving Sasha his guidance on what she needs to do Sunday night. I can't tell you how proud I am that House of Glory got mentioned. I can't tell you how happy I am that people who don't know what the Amazing Red is doing now after his days on the indie scene, a lot of people don't know what he's doing. A lot of people don't realize that he is a trainer and a teacher and the founder of House of Glory. The fact that he's still competing at a mesmerizing, unbelievable level now. Like, I swear to God, I told him, I don't know if it was after the Gangone match, the no ropes match that they had at High Intensity, or something before that. It was either against Michael Elgin or Ricochet. One of the matches that he had with either one of those guys. I went up to the locker room and I shook his hand. I said, thank you for the opportunity. And I just want you to know that in all the years that I've known of you and seen what you've done, I honestly don't think that you've ever been better than you are now. And he's in such peak physical shape that it's just unbelievable to watch this guy do what he does, man. And I have the unbelievable honor and pleasure of watching him perform in a House of Glory ring every month, calling his matches. And God knows what the fuck they got going on with him, for him, come WrestleMania, man. I can only imagine. And you know he's going to turn it up come WrestleMania. It's the biggest event that I think we've ever done come WrestleMania. So it's going to be unbelievable, man. But I'm so proud that WWE gave House of Glory the nice little rub there in that little video that they shot. It was very well done. I don't know who did it, but it was very well done with Sasha Banks and House of Glory and her seeking out tutelage and guidance from the amazing Red, man. It's so great to see. And if you guys want to go check that out, please go do so. It's on WWE's YouTube channel right now. Sasha and Ronda, one of the big matches for Sunday's Royal Rumble. YouTube fucked everybody over. I don't know what happened, but I did catch wind of this myself, and I want to make sure that you guys are aware of what's going on. We have an issue with YouTube right now where if you go to my channel, I'm not sure if this is subscription boxes. It probably has everything to do with the subscription boxes, but if Off the Script isn't in your subscription box, that's an issue. That's been an ongoing issue forever. But if you go to my YouTube channel and you see latest uploads, Off the Script from yesterday isn't going to be there. Now, I am on Twitter and I see Solomonster post his video in a tweet that he did yesterday. He also did a Royal Rumble preview and predictions video, about an hour long. But then I go to his YouTube channel and wasn't there. So I did some investigative work. I went to Grimm's channel. None of his videos from yesterday were there. I went to other people's channel, and their videos weren't there. And then I go to mine, and it's not there. Off the Script wasn't there. So if you guys go to my channel, you're not going to be seeing Off the Script there. I hope that by the time this is uploaded, you guys go and see that it's there. But if you have not checked out Off the Script, yesterday we did a 2-hour plus Royal Rumble extravaganza, man. 2 hours plus of preview and predictions. We also go over TakeOver and all the news and rumors that I could possibly find for the Rumble in that podcast, man. So make sure you guys go check it out. Link will be in the annotation that you see in the top right corner of the screen. And I'll even link you guys down for easier access down in the comment section below, man. So please go and check that out and get yourself ready for the Royal Rumble on Sunday night. Tonight is NXT TakeOver Phoenix. Johnny Gargano versus Ricochet for the North American Championship. Tommaso Ciampa versus Aleister Black for the NXT Championship. Going to be an amazing show, man. I will have a post-coverage review. I will have a podcast up at the end of that show tonight. So as soon as it's over, I'm going to get to work, and that thing will be up later tonight, man. As well as the Royal Rumble tomorrow on Sunday night. This may be the last Off the Script for the weekend. I don't really think that there's much in terms of breaking news before the Rumble. We literally covered everything that we possibly can before Sunday. So this part 2 may be the last one for the weekend. And I might not do anything on Sunday, but I do have some uploads in the bank, man. I got some uploads in the bank for Resident Evil 2, the remake. I did about 2 videos. I edited 2 videos already. Made them look all nice. They're ready to go. They're sitting on my desktop right here. So I might upload a premiere or a YouTube upload for tomorrow to kind of just fill the gap until we get to the Royal Rumble. I might upload that around noon, 1 o'clock, and then we can get ready for the Royal Rumble at 7 p.m. So Resident Evil's coming along nice. I bought it yesterday, and I'm loving it. 2 hours in. Great, really, really great stuff, man. They did an unbelievable job with the remake of Resident Evil. So you guys might see that tomorrow instead of another Off the Script. I want to get myself mentally prepared for the Royal Rumble. I want to relax and just make sure that you guys have JD at peak performance for the review on Sunday night. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, man. It's definitely going to be a necessity this weekend. Follow me on social media. JD from NY206 on Twitter and JD from NY206 on Instagram. I've been on Instagram a little bit more. I've been posting clips from the podcast, so make sure you guys, if you have an Instagram account, go and find me on Instagram, JD from NY206. Follow me on Twitch, JD from New York. Hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell for all notifications. It doesn't work, but do so anyway. I know Twitter is actually doing away, or YouTube rather, is doing away with pushing the uploads directly to Twitter. So at the end of the month, I'm not even going to have that option. But I'm going to try and weasel myself around that and still make sure you guys are aware of what's going on the channel through Twitter. But make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and follow me all over social media so you guys are up to date. I'll be live streaming on, I'll be live reacting on Twitter to TakeOver tonight, Royal Rumble on Sunday, Raw on Monday, and SmackDown on Tuesday, man. We got a big 4 days coming up. You don't want to miss anything, so make sure you guys are following me all over social media. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Make sure you guys go and get your merchandise, man. Use code BSHOP10 for 10% off. 17 designs in total. I got one ready to go as well. We're going to do another campaign for it. But if you guys want to go get your merchandise on Barbershop Window, man, it's the official online store of Off the Script. Code BSHOP10 for 10% off all your orders. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. I did forget, if you guys want to support on Patreon, man, patreon.com/JD from NY206. I want to shout out a few of you guys right now, man. Justice Chance with a $20 pledge. Harold Levitt, $1 pledge. Michael Reed with a $2 pledge. Angel Sanchez with an $8 pledge. Firebender with a $5 pledge. And we got Bo Damian Rodriguez with a $5 pledge. We also got Donnie Films, 1982 with a $5 pledge, man. Thank you guys so very much for all your support on the Patreon. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. This weekend's podcast is sponsored by WrestleRumble.com. You guys know the deal with Wrestle Rumble. If you guys want to win some money and have a great time, and even better time, watching the Royal Rumble, man, you can do so with WrestleRumble.com. You guys are going to buy your picks. You're going to buy your picks. You're going to be sent a list of questions. I'm going to be open and frank with you guys. The Royal Rumble Pick'em is one of the most fun yet most difficult pick'ems of the entire year. But you're going to have a good time doing it, man, because everybody loves trying to win that cold, hard cash. You guys have the opportunity to win $1,000 cash if you correctly answer most of the questions they provide on Sunday during the Royal Rumble. And who doesn't want $1,000 cash, man? WrestleRumble.com is the only chance you got to win that $1,000. You could do a lot with $1,000, man. Man, you could take me out to a nice dinner and a few cold beverages. Or you could, buy your girlfriend or your wife some nice jewelry. Or you could just pocket it and save it, put it in the bank and save it for a rainy day. Save it for WrestleMania weekend when you go to New York City, man. Anything you guys want to do with that $1,000, you could do a lot with it. WrestleRumble.com. Buy yourself a few pick'ems, man. You could get 5 entries for $30. That is a steal. Make sure you guys do it. You could also do it tonight before TakeOver. They got a TakeOver Phoenix pick'em as well. You guys can correctly choose the winners and losers and everything else that they're going to ask you for TakeOver tonight as well. So, WrestleRumble.com for your TakeOver Phoenix and Royal Rumble 2019 pick'ems. Go and play today. I'll be playing, and I hope one of you guys who's listening to Off the Script right now is the winner of the Wrestle Rumble Royal Rumble pick'em. Harrys.com/script, man. Make sure you guys go and get Harry's today. Now, I love Harry's, man. You guys know that Harry's has been with me for quite some time, well over a year. You guys know my story. I found that through my father, and I found that through my brother, and I've never looked at anything else as far as my shaving needs go. And Harry's is partnered with Off the Script, and they want to make your 2019 pretty damn good, man. Everybody made these New Year's resolutions, right? Go to the gym, eat better, exercise more, just change my outlook on how I treat people, try harder at my job, whatever it might have been, man. Harry's wants to make sure that your New Year's resolution as far as your shaving needs go are in check. So this is what they're going to do, man. Harry's is going to offer you a close, cool, comfortable shave for free. Yes, absolutely free. A $13 value for absolutely free. All you guys have to do is pay the shipping and handling, man. Harrys.com/script for your free trial. You're going to get a razor handle. You guys got 3 colors to choose from. You can choose from whichever color you want, the navy blue, the orange, or the evergreen. You're going to get a 5-blade strip with a beard trimmer. Man, that comes in handy. Believe me, I know. You're going to get 1 5-blade razor blade. You're going to get a generous 2-ounce bottle of their shave gel. It soothes, it hydrates, it smells fantastic. And when you put it on your face, not only are you going to be thinking about Off the Script, but you're going to realize that it's a nice, cool, tingling sensation, man. And I got sensitive skin, so I know how good it feels, and I'm sure you guys are going to feel the same way. Plus, you're going to get a travel blade case as well to protect your blade, whether you're on the go or you want to make it look nice while it sits in the medicine cabinet, man. Harrys.com/script, a free $13 trial. Absolutely free. Make sure you guys go and get yours today. Harrys.com/script, man. Thank you guys so much for literally everything that you do. Let's get into the podcast because I got a lot to go over. I got a lot to go over here on Off the Script, man. We're going to start off with this story. I found this to be quite humorous, but it's in the news, and I got to tell you guys anyway. Now, we all know the AEW effect is in full effect for WWE. If you don't believe so, you're a goddamn clown. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a shit what you think. The AEW effect is in full effect. It's being felt on Royal Rumble Sunday. The reason why Finn Balor is in the Royal Rumble Universal Championship match against Brock Lesnar is definitely, I'm not saying it's the sole reason, but it's definitely to do with the AEW effect. It's not because Strowman was hurt. It's not because WWE wanted Strowman to, they didn't want Strowman to lose again. Give me a break. If they didn't want Strowman to be looked at as this badly, they wouldn't have booked him in that match with Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel in November. They wouldn't have had him go out there and get destroyed in 5 minutes. It is definitely having to do, some of it has to do with the AEW effect. It's being felt everywhere. Whether it's being felt with Finn Balor, whether it's being felt with AJ Styles and him getting a much larger contract, whether it's being felt with Andrade Cien Almas, or guys like that we're not used to seeing on television, but now all of a sudden they're getting major pushes, right? The WWE is concerned that the New Day are interested, when their contracts are up, interested in going to All Elite Wrestling. Now, the WWE is reportedly going to give more focus to tag team wrestling. Yeah, right. I'll believe it when I see it. Hasn't started yet. I'm still waiting on the new era to present itself on Monday Night Raw. So when WWE says, yeah, we're going to put more focus on tag team wrestling, haven't seen anything as far as a new era goes on Monday Night Raw. So why would I believe when you talk about focus on tag team wrestling? Now, this move is rather interesting and could be rooted in All Elite Wrestling's promise to do the same. WWE made a promise to the Revival to appease the top guys, and the company could be creating a main event tag team on SmackDown Live as well, which I'll talk about a little bit. But the Revival, when they asked for their release, they cited, well, WWE doesn't respect tag team wrestling. We're tired of all the other teams in this company being disrespected and tag team wrestling not being given a focus. This is one of the reasons that they cited when they asked for their release a couple weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. Now, the Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that the WWE's concern could extend to the longest reigning tag team champions, the New Day. The New Day has made their friendship with the Elite no secret. WWE allowed them to go do video game tournaments and, whatever else they did with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, right? Whether it's at Gamescom or whether it's at E3 or whatever the case may be. WWE is sanctioned for the New Day to go out there and do what they want to do. Now, it could be looked at as, well, it's promotion for up, up, down, down, which is all great. It could be looked at the time when it was happening as WWE trying to butter up the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega for a come on in to WWE. Look, we love you. We're going to do what we got to do to make sure that you are as comfortable as possible. Could be looked at like that as well. Now, the Wrestling Observer newsletter is noting that WWE's concern is with the New Day, their friendship with the Elite being no secret, and like I mentioned, they arranged a video game showdown between the two factions that WWE made absolutely no secret about promoting. They put it all over their YouTube channel and their Twitter. So they had no issue with that then. Now, Meltzer said, and he said this on the Wrestling Observer newsletter, or this was Wrestling Observer Live, I believe. He said this on Wrestling Observer Live. He wrote that the New Day have wanted to work with the Young Bucks for years. This could be a chief reason for making a decision to focus on tag team wrestling as well. He says, and I quote, AEW is logically going to use tag teams on top, rather than just taking up mid-level space And that creates the grass is greener on the other side scenario for every WWE team, which makes the revival situation even more sensible. WWE's most popular gimmick team, The New Day, is already friends with the Young Bucks and have wanted to work with them for years. End quote. WWE needs to keep their superstars happy, especially when there is another company willing to drop big money on talent contracts. You never know if AEW could be tempting The New Day to come on into the company and leave WWE, but WWE has to be cautious of this relationship because they don't want to tempt any further dissension with talent. Now, I think this is just something for Dave Meltzer to rile up people. You know, obviously Meltzer is in the pocket of AEW. That's no secret. He's probably just putting that out there to create buzz. That's all this is. This is nothing but a buzz-worthy story that has absolutely zero legs. We don't know if the New Day is possibly interested in All Elite Wrestling. I would not be surprised if every wrestler in WWE is interested in what All Elite Wrestling is doing. Of course they are. Of course they are. That doesn't mean that they're going to just get up and leave WWE and go to AEW. Nobody knows what AEW is doing right now. They're taking baby steps to make sure that they are on the right path to getting their Double or Nothing show as well as it could, and getting a TV deal, and then getting a TV show and presenting live TV, you know? So everybody in WWE is, yes, interested in what they are going to be doing. They're not interested in possibly joining the promotion when the promotion has nothing to offer right now. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, more money, lighter schedule, a creative difference between WWE and AEW. Yes, it's all great, but we got to see that physically in action. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm not excited about it. Of course, it presents a new opportunity. It presents fresh content for everybody. For everybody. Some of my most viewed videos in the last month are AEW videos because everybody's excited about AEW. They want to know what's going on with AEW. This is a bullshit story. I don't believe this for 1 second. I don't believe the New Day is ever going to go to AEW. You want my honest opinion on it? Big E, Kofi, and Xavier Woods are WWE lifers. They're going nowhere. They are going nowhere. In fact, everybody in the WWE, everybody is going to end up making more money because of All Elite Wrestling. They're going to end up making more money with WWE because of All Elite Wrestling, because WWE knows now that with the small taste of competition looming, they can't afford for anybody to have an inkling of a thought of going elsewhere. More money? Here you go. There you go. And this AEW effect, which people still seem to think is not a real thing, is now filtering into the tag team division. All because one team spoke up about it, and WWE never really wanted to do anything. If the AEW didn't exist, the tag team division would be continuing just its downward decline every single week. But the fact that we got AEW, every motherfucker watching me should be thanking AEW. In fact, you should be thanking the Revival, too, because if they didn't speak up as the fucking flag bearers for this fucking bullshit, then maybe we wouldn't be getting the thought or the tease of a focus on tag team wrestling. The New Day ain't going anywhere. The New Day ain't going anywhere. In fact, they're actually going to end up making more money for WWE to keep them happy. WWE has a new focus on tag team wrestling. All Elite Wrestling is going to be tag team heavy because you got one of the best tag teams in the world in the Young Bucks. So clearly, you already got a standard bearer for what your tag team division is going to be. Plus, you got SCU. So, you want to fucking shit all over AEW already. You know, the Young Bucks and SCU as a number one, number two tag team already to start things off without even having anything else going for them. You look at the roster on paper, you got the Young Bucks and SCU. That's a nice number 1 and 2 combination right there. But All Elite Wrestling is going to feature some amazing tag team action. This was a promise made by the Young Bucks because, like I said, they are going to be the standard bearers of what is to come for the tag team division. WWE even mentioned, Triple H mentioned that they are paying attention to everything AEW is doing. What's that? The AEW effect is still not in effect to you clowns? Yeah, sure it ain't. The Wrestling Observer newsletter stated that the AEW promise to create a better environment for tag team wrestling is likely going to create the grass is greener on the other side situation, like I mentioned with the New Day. WWE's recent promise to feature tag team wrestling and also make the Revival the faces of the division seem to point towards them making this decision due to AEW. Let me repeat that, because I love making you fucking idiots look like a bunch of fucking clueless fucks. What was that? What was that? The Revival are becoming the faces of the division, hopefully. This is I'll believe it when I see it situation. Faces of the division seem to point towards them making this decision due to AEW. Wow, you don't say! Don't ever tell me I'm wrong again, motherfucker. Don't ever tell me I'm wrong again. Now, we'll have to wait and see how much of this focus that WWE really gives their tag team division. You know, it didn't really get off to the most rip-roaring start on Monday Night Raw. You know, in a situation that I've been actually stating on this podcast, and I don't give a fuck who else you watch on this platform. No one else made this suggestion. I mentioned, well, why don't we get the Hype Bros back together? Actually, in fact, I stated, you got all this talent doing nothing, right? All this talent that's doing nothing that I'm sure is sitting in their locker room, depressed, wanting to go to AEW because they have no opportunity. You don't even feature this fucking talent on television. Most of this talent wants to work. So what I stated is you're going to take all those guys and you're going to let them waste away? You're paying them for what? What are you paying them for? It's lost money. It's like you're throwing money away. So what I stated is you take these guys and you find fucking roles for them. Some of them you might find singles roles for. Some of them you might feature in a tag team. And what I mentioned is Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder's doing nothing, right? Zack Ryder had his singles run. U.S. champion, Intercontinental champion, he had his WrestleMania moment, right? What else is there for Zack Ryder to do? He's never a guy that's going to achieve main event WWE Universal WWE Championship status. So what do you do with Zack Ryder? You get the Hype Bros back together. Mojo Rawley ain't doing shit. Mojo Rawley ain't doing anything. So get them back together. They were a decent duo together. Zack looked refreshed. Mojo, much better in a tag team than he is single. I cannot believe, nor will I ever believe Mojo as a singles guy. So then you look at Kurt Hawkins too, if you don't want to go that route. Kurt Hawkins is on a, 250 match losing streak, to a point where Vince McMahon even said, well, listen, man, you should go find another profession. So Kurt Hawkins was out as a special guest referee for the Revival Rude Gable match on Monday Night Raw. He called it right down the middle. The Revival beat him up. Zack Ryder came to the rescue. So now we're seeing the Edgeheads, or an older, mature version of the Edgeheads. They're not going to be called the Edgeheads, obviously, but a team of Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Something that I mentioned for weeks. Poof. Happens on television. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh yeah, WWE's watching my show. Pay me. Where's my compensation, right? Where's my commission? It's not the case. But I also know that nobody else in the community said that. I've been lobbying for people to be used that you're not using in prominent roles for forever. Same thing with Bray Wyatt. What are you doing with Bray Wyatt? If Bray Wyatt, logistically think, if Bray Wyatt comes back to television with the same gimmick that he went away with, are you going to fucking care? I don't think you will care. So what do you do with Bray Wyatt? Get a new fucking Wyatt family back together. What better way? Now, I'm not the only one who thought of this idea, but a tag team? Yes! What better way to bring Wyatt and the Wyatt family back than to have real-life family in the Wyatt family, Bray and Brother Bo? The B-team is a fucking joke. There's no fucking way anyone's gonna believe in the B-team. They were a running joke all in 2018. That is who you had as your tag team champions on Monday Night Raw. The B-team was your standard bearer of tag teams on Monday Night Raw. And if we didn't get this AEW effect, that would be the way of the tag team division on Monday Night Raw. Absolutely. Absolutely. What are you doing with Shelton Benjamin, right? WWE wants to push Apollo. He lost to Bobby Lashley on Monday Night Raw. Who the fuck is going to believe in Apollo? You killed him dead to a point where the guy barely gets a fucking reaction. The guy's a loser to everybody. You got Shelton Benjamin on SmackDown. What are you doing with Shelton Benjamin? Does anybody even know Shelton Benjamin is employed still? Does anybody know Shelton Benjamin is still wrestling? He's 40 years old and could go as good as anybody else on that roster. You know, he was a part of the world's greatest tag team with Charlie Haas, right? Now, Apollo Crews doesn't look anything like Charlie Haas, but Apollo is just as athletic as Shelton Benjamin. Why don't you get a new version of the world's greatest tag team together? Apollo and Shelton Benjamin. I think that would be a damn good idea, right? That way, you're utilizing guys that now you're featuring on television, and it's a too little, too late situation. You're putting guys in roles and getting them on TV, and you're actually making a division that needs all the fucking help in the world right now. It's not even on life support. It's fucking dead. Dead! Completely lifeless. There's not a single breath in this tag team division. You're giving life to the tag team division. Look at that tag team division now. From what you see here, look at what you see now on Monday Night Raw, and then look at my tag team division, right? AOP is out. Apparently, Rezar is out with a knee injury. He's going to be out 3 months. But when the AOP comes back, that's a perfect opportunity to bring them back in a dominating fashion and bring Paul Ellering back. AOP, the Revival. You know, I'm not too big on the team of Roode and Gable. I would take Chad Gable out of that team, make Bobby Roode a heel, and bring back Jason Jordan, give me American Alpha back. Imagine if that is a real possible scenario that could eventually happen. AOP, the Revival, American Alpha, right? Look at those three teams. A solid 3 teams to build on Monday Night Raw. You add Heavy Machinery, that's 4. You got 2 heel teams and you got 2 babyface teams. Teams that could legitimately bring prestige back to the tag team division. Teams like the Revival and American Alpha. Give me a fucking break, dude. What those 2 teams did in NXT, if they recreated anything along those lines on Monday Night Raw, we'd be better off for it. You got those 4 teams. You got the Wyatt family, Bray and Bo, right? You got Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. That's 3 heel teams and 3 babyface tag teams. Then you got Apollo Crews and Shelton Benjamin. You want to do that? 7 teams. I mean, I don't know what else I have to do. I don't know what else I have to say sitting here to get it through your fucking skulls. Start using people in roles in which they would be better off for it. Start utilizing these guys in roles in which you could benefit an entire division. You want to focus on tag team wrestling? What the fuck do you have in the pipe as far as focus goes? You're going to give tag teams time on Monday Night Raw? You can't really tell a story in 4 minutes. Give me a break. Focus. What you need to do is focus on building a fucking division first, and then focus on that, the division itself, and what you want to present as far as the division goes when you got everybody else lined up to give us a division. Now, WWE has a lot of critics, and tag team wrestling is a huge target for people to complain about. It's because it's so fucking embarrassing. You got 3 hours to watch on Monday Night Raw, and tag team wrestling is absolutely dead. Dead. It's a bathroom break. It's a channel changer, right? And then the only tag team matches that we get on Monday Night Raw are the fucking Riot Squad versus Sasha Banks and Bayley. That's not tag teams. Well, that's not tag team wrestling. Now, I will read a story, and I'm going to mention it briefly here. WWE is contemplating a team of Rey Mysterio and Andrade, and that would give them a main event tag team, which might become more usual to see in WWE rather than the conventional method of making tag teams out of mid-level performers. I don't like that idea at all. I don't like that at all. And I'm going to sit here and tell you, you might have some other fucking idiot in the community liking that idea, but they're a brain-dead simpleton who has a one-track mind. What good would that do for the tag team division when you got all these tag teams and you want to create a tag team out of nothing because of who they are? How is that focusing on tag team wrestling? You're not focusing on tag team wrestling at that point. You're focusing on Andrade and Rey. Now, the only positive to come out of that is guys like that, if you team them up, they're going to make everybody else in the ring just as good as they are. But that's not really focusing on tag team wrestling when you have tag teams for the tag team division that you're not even focusing on. How is anybody going to focus on the teams that you need to build up when you got Andrade and Rey there and everybody and all the eyes are going to be on Andrade and Rey? How is that helping the tag team division? I don't get it. I don't get it. NXT has never went away in which we seen, oh, let me get Aleister Black and the Velveteen Dream together. They had a great match together. They're baby faces. Let's team them up and give them the tag team titles. That's shitting on all the other legit tag teams by making a makeshift tag team and calling it, oh, look, we got Rey and Andrade, the best tag team in the world. No shit. No shit. How could you not call them the best tag team in the world? Really? Why would you take Andrade away from being his own man? I don't get it. This is a world champion athlete. And you want to stick him in a fucking stable or a tag team with Rey Mysterio? This is where it's going to end up. Andrade beating Rey, or the other way around, they come to a fucking conclusion that, oh, listen, we're evenly matched. We should team up. If that is the fucking end game for this thing, man, has WWE sunk to the lowest of creativity. I hate it. I just think it's a spit in the face of actual fucking tag teams. You have actual tag teams on this show. On this roster. I didn't even name SmackDown teams. You got the New Day, the Bar, you got the Sanity team, right? The Usos. You got Breezango coming back. All these fucking teams that you got. All these teams that you legitimately have right now. And teams that you could make. You're going to give me Rey Mysterio and Andrade? You're going to give the tag team division Rey Mysterio and Andrade, and you're going to take away from the main event scene on SmackDown Live. And who says I want to see Andrade as a heel, as a babyface? Why would I not want to see Andrade as a heel? And at that point, what do you do with Zelina Vega? Listen, I love Zelina Vega. I think she's a talented woman. She could probably play any role that they give her. But, it's the same thing with Sasha Banks and the Sasha Banks way of theory. Sasha Banks is a bitch. Zelina Vega is from the Bronx. She's a bitch. She's a fucking bitch. Okay? And I don't want to see Zelina Vega. Andrade. That would be giving me a character, and you're not really playing to her strengths. You give me a heel Zelina Vega, she's going to play to her strengths. If you give me a babyface Zelina Vega in the way that she is now, it's not going to come across as something that I really have long-term interest in. Everybody has to have a role, and they have to portray their character in that formatted role. That's not really playing to anybody's strengths. And you're not really playing to Andrade's strengths either. I don't want to hear this bullshit about, WWE's looking for a new Latin star, so let's make him a babyface. Give me a break. Did they ever contemplate turning Alberto Del Rio babyface? The guy never worked out. The guy was a dick through and through. No matter what they did with him. Never seen him as a babyface. Come on. Can't be doing this shit, man. Can't be doing this shit. This is not... This is honestly putting a huge Band-Aid over something that's going to continue to bleed and bleed and bleed. Now, Dave Meltzer noted in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Okay? He noted this. The fact that tag team titles don't seem to matter much in WWE, or at least they are nowhere close to where they should be in regards to importance. He did note that WWE is telling their tag teams that the division will get more focus. This is great news for them depending on what WWE's plan actually is. If it's Andrade and Rey, that's not really giving focus to the tag team division. You're just taking, made stars already and trying to fix a tag team and then neglect everybody else that's in that division. According to some, tag team wrestling is something that really doesn't matter on WWE television. So if it doesn't matter, why not build those other guys to be on the level of an Usos or a New Day or a Bar? Why you gotta give me Andrade and Rey just to pretend, oh look, tag team wrestling's back? How could it not be with Andrade and Rey? He mentioned on Wrestling Observer newsletter that WWE could be making a change to this running theme of not giving tag team wrestling the attention it deserves. On Raw this week, we saw the in-ring debut of Heavy Machinery as well as Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins and a reunion. He mentioned that WWE's telling their tag teams that it will get a more of a focus on the division. Maybe they're getting all these tag teams ready for what they start, or what is the start of a new tag team division, he says. That's the idea that they are obviously going with here. That's what they're telling all the tag teams. Yeah, they're doing it. They're going to start building up the division. That's why we got Otis and Heavy Machinery debuting. We got Hawkins and Ryder back together. Everyone was waiting for Hawkins and Ryder's return. End quote. WWE's lack of attention for tag teams was one of the most contributing factors to why the Young Bucks turned down WWE contracts. Clearly. However, they can't stop at just introducing new titles and giving people extra minutes to tag team matches on television. Edge commented in the past about how Vince McMahon has never been a fan of tag team wrestling. Only time will tell what WWE is planning, but this isn't the first time fans have been given hope that tag team wrestling will experience a resurgence. The WWE, after hearing that the Revival wanted their release, promised them personally one thing. Again, I reiterate. WWE promised their tag teams that they would be getting more of a focus. It was noted that WWE's decision to concentrate on tag team wrestling is a move to counter All Elite Wrestling's promise to center around tag team wrestling as well. It's like a game of chess, you fucking idiots, okay? The AEW effect is real. The Revival is also reportedly being primed for a babyface turn, which I don't like. Although it could take some time for that to come around. They are booked sympathetically, so this could be seen in WWE's storyline as them coming off as baby faces. I don't like it. Rey and Andrade should be main event guys on SmackDown Live. You got more than enough to do one of two things. One, have a legit tag team division on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. And two, if you don't want to go the route that I did, merge the fucking divisions and get all these teams on both shows so that a Raw could have them be graced with the Usos or the Bar and the New Day. And SmackDown could get a Heavy Machinery and an Ascension and an AOP. Whatever. Merge the divisions. One of two things to do. And that's the best way to go about it. You want to create a buzz? Right? It's not getting Andrade and Rey back together. You want to create a fucking buzz? Why don't you give me a unification match between the Revival and the Usos at WrestleMania? You want a fucking resurgence in the tag team division? You give both of those fucking teams 20 minutes, and I guarantee you, it will be the best match on WrestleMania. Fuck out of here. There's ways to go about it without being desperate. Andrade and Rey is desperation. Not needed. Absolutely not needed. Major concern regarding the Hardys' current WWE contracts. I wonder why. The Hardy Boys dropped their broken gimmick when they entered WWE in 2017, but their current contracts are coming to a close. However, there is an option WWE could use to keep Matt and Jeff Hardy around for an additional year, and they are very likely to do so. The Wrestling Observer newsletter stated that the WWE is under the impression that they will have the Hardys for another year. They returned at WrestleMania in Orlando after signing a 2-year deal with the option to extend into a third. This is great timing because Matt recently stated that he's medically greenlit for a WWE return, and he's in the best shape that he's been in a very long time. He's 20 pounds lighter, he said. He's the slimmest he's been in years. Therefore, it is believed that WWE will execute their option to extend the Hardys' contracts for an additional year. If Hardy's cleared to come back, I mentioned on yesterday's podcast, I see him being in the Royal Rumble with Jeff. So I see the Hardys in the Royal Rumble this year. And Matt, maybe come back to Monday Night Raw and finally get a resurgence on that character and that gimmick on Monday Night Raw. I hope so. They dropped the ball big time. That thing was a fucking complete failure. Now, you never know if Matt could be in the Royal Rumble as a surprise. I'm banking he will be, because WWE has a few people they could use to pop the crowd. One thing WWE doesn't need is the Hardys going to All Elite, where they are destined to feud with the Young Bucks and reprise their Ring of Honor feud that wrapped up the Hardys' last indie run before joining WWE. I don't think the Hardy Boys are going anywhere, honestly. I think the WWE knows what those two teams did, and the Hardys, everybody is primed to make more money than they've ever had in their careers because of this shit. The Hardys ain't going anywhere. Just like the Young Bucks, this is where the Hardys draw the end of the line. They're in WWE again. This is the end of the line for them. They're going to be lifers in WWE. And these guys, honestly, I could see them transitioning into an agent or producer role, both of them, for the WWE if they want to remain with the company well after their years in the ring. Andrade Cien Almas, we talked about the Rey Mysterio tag team. We'll dive into it a little bit more. I got additional news on it. I'm not going to really rant on it anymore because I don't like it. But Andrade Cien Almas, before all this was happening with his resurgence, his push on SmackDown Live, right? That WWE clearly is abusing with his matches against Rey. Before long, it's going to be boring and just done to death. Andrade, before all this happened, he was warning Lucha stars about signing with the WWE. CMLL and New Japan Pro Wrestling star Dragon Lee will reportedly be signing with Ring of Honor, if not already. According to the last word on Pro Wrestling website, negotiations are close to being finalized. Barring any last-minute issues, the 23-year-old high-flying superstar will be joining his brother Roosh in Ring of Honor. According to the report, Dragon Lee will be signing a one-year deal to take advantage of free agency next year with AEW, WWE, Ring of Honor, New Japan, all vying for the services of top independent stars. This may be a shrewd move on his part. I think it's a smart move. Because by that time, AEW will hopefully have a TV deal and a television show. Clearly, more money to be made with AEW or a possible WWE jump. Now, the deal will mean that Dragon Lee will be exclusive to Ring of Honor in the United States. Dragon Lee will still be able to perform in Mexico and most likely New Japan. By the way, you don't think the AEW effect is being felt in Ring of Honor? They've signed more guys lately than I've ever seen them sign. So if you don't think it's being felt, again, I reiterate, you are a fucking idiot. It's being felt everywhere, not only in WWE, but Ring of Honor and New Japan as well. There was a report recently, Andrade Cien Almas has been warning Luchador stars like Roosh and Lee against joining WWE. The Wrestling Observer newsletter made this claim earlier in the month. Meltzer says, and I quote, "In the case of Roosh, he's very close with Cien Almas, who pretty much warned him and Dragon Lee about going to WWE." Now, he mentioned this in the Observer and finished off by saying Andrade's advice was that WWE wasn't what it was cracked up to being. End quote. Sometimes you got to find out the hard way. Sometimes you got to find out the hard way. WWE's going to lock in for 2 years, 3 years. They're going to do what they want with you, right? They're going to give you a nice gimmick. They're going to give you a nice entrance theme music. Andrade became a superstar in NXT. Then he gets to the main roster, and everybody realizes that, it's not really what I expected, and then they want out. And then something like AEW comes along, and, they realize that you might want out. They realize that you might be frustrated because you're not being used the way that you anticipated. Your skills are not being utilized. And then they'll start pushing you on television. Or they'll start giving you more money when your contract's up. So then they'll try to make you happy because of other outward sources or other worldly sources that are going on the outside. Outside the WWE bubble. All that other influence on the outside is now seeping into the WWE bubble. There's a little hole. Someone poked a little hole in WWE's bubble. Now they want to make you happy, not for the right reasons, but because they want to keep you with them so that you don't take your services somewhere else. It's Logic 101. This is not news to me. Almas has now said twice that he's unhappy in WWE. I want to see what he says now that they're now pushing him. I wonder why. You don't think he knows why they're pushing him? And if Andrade Cien Almas is a free agent, my God, the money that this man could command? You don't think WWE knows that? This guy would be the biggest free agent in the industry the time he leaves WWE. Anybody would be fucking bending over to take this guy's services. Fuck out of here. They know it. He knows it. Vince knows it. Triple H knows it. He was even mentioned on the fucking, on the NXT TakeOver conference call. How do you feel about Andrade finally coming into his own on the main roster? Everybody knew down at NXT what the guy was capable of. Finally, they said. I wonder why. Possible new feud for EC3 on the main roster. You know, the guy who does this, right? And the guy who wants to pose in the mirror. The mute. The mime. All they need is for EC3 to come out wearing white face paint and... That's EC3's gimmick. This is EC3's gimmick. This is EC3 on the main roster. What's his new feud? Does it even matter? Are you interested at this point with EC3? Huh? What could be his feud? Is he going to be fighting an invisible man? Might as well. Put him in the ring with a fucking, with a whole getup. Mime, right? How do I escape this box? Might be more interesting than anything that they got going on with him. Brian Alvarez, on the Wrestling Observer Radio, noted that he has not made his in-ring debut yet. And clearly, the next big feud that WWE plans going into WrestleMania, there were rumors of EC3 and Dean Ambrose. Yeah, good luck on that one. Good luck on that one. You got Bane versus the Mime. The next big feud is EC3 This is why we're feuding people together now. You believe this shit? EC3 versus Lashley. Because they both love to pose. You believe that? Dave Meltzer did not seem to disagree. However, he also didn't think that these two produced much of anything in the ring together. He says, and I quote, and let me see the Impact elitists come out at me.
Oh, man, I gotta go to the gym. Let me take a little bite of this pizza. Oh, look. A popcorn crumb on the floor.
You fucking slobbering fucking slobs. The Impact elitists.
Bobby Lashley, and in fact, he was so good. JD is a hypocrite.
I don't give a fuck what Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley could have fucking saved someone's life by performing CPR in the middle of the ring on Impact TV. I don't give a fuck what Bobby Lashley did on Impact Wrestling.
Oh, he was different. He played a heel. He had more freedom. He's actually a legit athlete.
How many matches has Bobby Lashley had on WWE television that you remember as being good? I'll wait. I have a phone call from Cody. Yo, Cody! What's going on, bro? Yeah, man, I'm loving my new title as Chief Information Officer. Yeah, bro, I'll be in Vegas. The whole week, bro. We're doing a meet and greet. It'll be on the Vegas Strip, man. There's not even going to be a fucking location for the meet and greet. I'll be promoting on Off the Script. The meet and greet's on the Vegas Strip. We're going to walk up and down the Vegas Strip, and we're going to have 6 packs of Guinness flowing, bro. You're welcome to come. Bring the wife. Bring the bucks. You know, Omega, bring Omega too, bro. I know he doesn't drink. I know he's clean, so, you know, we can hang out with him, man. We'll take him to a nice organic restaurant. I think he'll enjoy that. All right, bro. I'll talk to you later, man. Let me get on with this podcast, man, because, you know, the Impact slobs want to continue poking fun at me about how great Bobby Lashley is. I'll talk to you later, man. Lashley versus EC3. I swear to God, man, I want you to take pin needles, put them through my eyes, and I hope to never watch this ever. materialize on television. Because they both like to pose. Let me see them go after Dave Meltzer. This is what he says, folks. This is not my quote here, folks. You know, their matches in Impact sucked. They're not going to be better in WWE. You think these guys have improved? Lashley is not good, and he was not good ever. EC3, we'll see. He didn't show anything in NXT that was any better than what he did in Impact. It's not how much are those guys, you know, Impact gave them a lot more leeway to work than WWE will. But he's like, their matches in Impact sucked. WWE could place these two together if they are aware of what has happened already between them. Being that they might go back and watch what these two did in the ring together in Impact, it might be best that we never see this happen. Then again, we're talking about Vince McMahon, who doesn't venture outside of the WWE bubble, so who the fuck knows if he even realized what happened in Impact.
Let me make a video on JD at 4:30 in the morning, because I get no pussy. And I gotta wear shades on. I gotta wear shades on the inside, and I'm gonna sit here for about a half an hour. And, I'm gonna jerk off to some anime porn because I'm a fat slob, and no female will ever look at me.
Moving on. How does Vince feel about Heavy Machinery? How does Vince feel about Heavy Machinery? Well, I hope it's good. I enjoyed their debut on Monday Night Raw. Vince McMahon is under the impression that Otis is great. He loves Otis, says Dave Meltzer. He has a lot of potential apart from being a tag team wrestler. Let's dead that already. We don't need Tucker Knight going into obscurity here. It was also said that 6 months from now, we'll find out if he is or isn't better off because of that, in reference to his comedic antics on SmackDown Live. Am I still recording here after the fucking microphone fell down? Let me see. Yeah, there you go. By the way, I want to make mention here, okay? I've made mention to people that I work with and people who I speak to on wrestling-related topics. I love Impact's roster. I think they're fantastic. Okay, this has nothing to do with Callis and anybody. Josh Matthews still sucks. Don Callis and the operation that's going on over there, I just don't watch it. This is merely aimed at their fans who live in their own bubble and need to go out and get some sunlight. You know, vitamin D is really good for you, man. It really is good for you. And put down the fork and knife, man. I think Planet Fitness has $1 sign up and then $10 a month thereafter. I think it should be in your best interests to go visit Planet Fitness, man. They got a beautiful new facility, man. They redone everything. I'm there twice a week. Anyway, Vince McMahon loves Otis. WWE needs some comedic elements to keep advertisers happy and provide well-rounded comment. Heavy Machinery looks to fit this bill perfectly. Yeah, they're also a great tag team. I love their look. And yes, they got comedic elements to them, but I don't want them to be all about comedic elements. In a time and day where we need focus on tag team wrestling, you got the Heavy Machinery team of Otis and Tucker Knight that could really deliver tag team wrestling. Otis can go. We've seen Otis go. He put on one of the best matches that I've seen him do one-on-one with Tommaso Ciampa on NXT last year. So, you know, it's something that we want to see, some small doses of comedic, but don't take that serious element away from them. The stakes and weights and the boom shakaloo. I like all that stuff, but don't take away their serious element because they could be a player in the tag team division, man. So we'll see what happens with that. Aiden English, he joined the 205 Live commentary team. I listened, and I really didn't care. I've kind of warmed up to Percy Watson, but he ended up replacing Percy Watson, so it's Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness now with Aiden English. I guess this is a way to, get him some TV time. English debuted for the show this week, replacing Percy Watson. Given the wording by WWE, it looks like English will only work the show past WrestleMania through the company. This allows, him to have a role on television. And it may be longer if he's well received. 205 Live General Manager Drake Maverick had the following to say about English's commentary debut. The McMahons have been shaking things up on Raw and SmackDown Live, so I'm going to follow suit. Aiden English is an active superstar who's very opinionated. I believe those opinions and perspective will add to the current commentary team. only adding to the entertainment value of the most exciting hour of television in WWE. Michael Cole also mentioned about English's commentary. He says, we wanted to do something special for WrestleMania season, and the Royal Rumble week kicks off the road to WrestleMania. We've been working with Aiden at the Performance Center to see if he's got the chops, and he turns out he's pretty good. So, listen, I wish him well, man. I wish him well. There was no other role for him on SmackDown Live, so this could actually be much beneficial to him. And if he ends up kicking ass, there you go, man. WWE needs to shake things up with the commentary. Sometimes they get so bland and so boring. If this is what's needed, and he ends up being good, WWE might strike gold, man. So we'll see what happens. Finishing up here, man, we got a few more stories. WWE and their plans to form Rey Mysterio and Andrade. We mentioned this. The Observer mentioned that this is definitely not 100% going to happen. It could happen. The direction, though, it appears to be headed towards a pairing of the two. And he did mention that WWE needs to keep Andrade happy because this could open the door for more Latin talents to come in. And they don't want him going anywhere else. So, simple as that. Andrade, like we mentioned, advised some of his extremely talented close friends that WWE isn't what it's cracked up to be. And it's a smart idea to stay away right now. And it's WWE's brilliant idea to keep Andrade happy. The current mindset is to make Andrade the next big Latin star of the company as well. I wonder why. They are also contemplating pairing Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara. WWE is planning this for his return. PW Insider noted that Sin Cara is at the Performance Center this week, working on his return. He is using the PC and all the tools they provide as WWE is thinking about linking him with Rey Mysterio when he returns. It's unclear what that means, whether it could be a stable or a one-on-one match. I don't know. Either one, I am not interested in whatsoever. I don't care about Sin Cara, another guy who's just too far gone at this point. Dolph Ziggler. Got some news on Dolph Ziggler here. He's turned down multiple WWE offers. What they got going on with Dolph Ziggler right now, nobody knows. He looks like he's out the door. Meltzer commented that Ziggler's contract is up right before WrestleMania. He turned down multiple offers from WWE. Doesn't look like he's going to be re-signing with the company. Ziggler could always stick around and arrange some other deal with WWE. He could show up in the Royal Rumble, being that he does live in Phoenix. So we'll see what happens with that. Dolph Ziggler could have some pull. He could make some more money. Maybe money is really important to him, man. I don't know. He could make as much money as he ever has if he stays with the WWE, because they know that Ziggler could contemplate going to AEW. Man, what a feather in the cap that would be for AEW. But it's also being reported that Ziggler could be at a breaking point with WWE. Bully Ray discussed Ziggler's contract status on Busted Open Radio, where he provided some insight. Bully considers Dolph's exit a big hit for the company, so they might need to try their best to keep him, even though there really isn't any interest on WWE's part to push him. I don't know why. There is a chance that Dolph Ziggler has hit a breaking point and he could simply be ready to move on. He knows that WWE's not going to give him what he wants. They're not going to push him in a prominent role. They never have. So why believe now? Just stick it to them. Just stick it to them. He says, and I quote, does Bully Ray, I don't think they want a guy like Dolph Ziggler leaving. That's another crack in the wall. Absolutely. They're going to have to do what they have done with him before, which is throw him a lot of money so that he doesn't leave. He could be at a breaking point right now. Dolph is into politics. Dolph is into comedy. He just may want to do other things. It may be time to move on. I mean, what else are they going to do with him? The storyline with Drew and everything that was done, where does Dolph fit into the landscape with WWE today? End quote. Nowhere. They have zero plans for him. He's done everything in that company. It's time to go and be respected by people who want to give an alternative. Truly, I think Dolph would be phenomenal in All Elite Wrestling. And he'll have the freedom. He'll have the time to do what he wants to do. They would never restrict him from doing anything else. As long as it's not wrestling from the promotion, you could do your politics, you do your comedy, do whatever you want. And if they end up having a working relationship with New Japan, who knows, man? Who knows? Ziggler has worked for the WWE and has made a big name for himself in the past 15 years, but at this point, 38 years old, still competing at a high level, he could go anywhere and still be a major name at the top of the roster. Ziggler, WWE wanted to move Ziggler into a producer's role. That's something he didn't want. The newsletter, Wrestling Observer Newsletter, reports that WWE wanted to move Ziggler into a backstage producer's role with the company. He signed a new deal last year, but they wanted to make him into a producer. Now, he signed a new contract last year, and there is talk that they want to take him out of the ring and make him a producer. He's been off television for the past 2 weeks. Obviously, Ziggler being in a producer's role would be fantastic. I'm sure he's got a fantastic mind for the business and what, should be done and what should not be done. His mindset could be brilliant. So it's very interesting to see him in that role, but he might not want that. He's still so young. Why would you want to take him off your television and put him in a producer's role? If I'm Dolph Ziggler, WWE appreciates me, but they don't appreciate me to my full extent, and I know I'm worth so much more. That's what I get out of that. So we'll see what happens with Dolph Ziggler. 15 years, like I said, several show-stealing matches. He knows psychology very well, no question. But he's got just so much more to offer. The WWE or anybody, really. He's got so much to offer in ring. He don't want to be tied down to being a producer only, man. And he's healthy. Give me a break, man. That's a waste of a fucking talent right there in Dolph Ziggler, man. Finally, we're going to end with this. Triple H, he did mention this on the TakeOver conference call. Triple H is cleared to begin training for a WrestleMania return. Now, this was reported on the, I think Wednesday or Thursday, the conference call took place. Triple H revealed during a recent media conference call that he was cleared to start real training a week ago. This gives me a lot of hope that I could be ready for WrestleMania. He says, and I quote, "I just got cleared to train," which anyone that's had a serious injury knows the difference between rehabbing for a couple of hours a day and actually training. There's a huge difference in trying to get better and actually better yourself. So I just got clearance and started training. Training I am excited for. As I sit here right now, I'm extremely sore, which 1 week ago I got clearance, so the training has already been stepped up. But feeling good, Triple H was slated to face Batista at WrestleMania, but the game's injury put that match in major question. Now with Triple H training for a return, only time will tell if WWE could book a match with Batista and have it be ready by WrestleMania. But it does give Triple H a huge amount of time to get ready to get into ring shape before WrestleMania and make a full recovery, man. Now, the only question is Batista's schedule going to be clear for WrestleMania? I guess we'll find out. But if Batista's match doesn't happen, I made mention of this on Monday Night Raw when we did the podcast on Monday Night Raw this past week. Monday Night Raw, I stated that if Batista isn't ready, I could absolutely see Triple H and Braun Strowman as a WrestleMania match, playing up their little back and forth a couple Survivor Series ago. Not this past Survivor Series, the year before that. And I could definitely see Strowman and Triple H happening as a way. Well, Vince McMahon is kind of stuck it to Braun Strowman on television, took the title match away, fined him. He's not going to fight Vince McMahon, so Vince could probably get Triple H involved, and that could lead to a match with Triple H and Braun Strowman. Because realistically, if you've taken Braun Strowman out of the Universal Championship match, if he doesn't win the Royal Rumble, I'm thinking as if he doesn't win the Royal Rumble, what is he going to do at WrestleMania? Honestly, what is he going to do at WrestleMania? The only thing I could see is Vince turning this over to Triple H, turning it over to his son-in-law, and Triple H developing this on-air feud with Braun Strowman that leads to a match at WrestleMania. And again, I am not interested in that whatsoever. I don't think anybody's interested in Braun Strowman, period, anymore. He's just cringe to look at. Get off my TV. The guy's not worth anything right now. Dead. Absolutely dead. A lot of work needs to go into Braun Strowman to make me care about him, but a match with Triple H definitely isn't the right way to go about it. Off the Script has wrapped up all weekend, folks. I am completely tapped out of news. Thank you guys so very much. If you laughed, hit that thumbs up. If you enjoyed what I did here today, hit that thumbs up. I will see you guys tonight for NXT TakeOver Phoenix. I'm going to enjoy a few cold beverages on my way to TakeOver Phoenix. Be ready for the review tonight, and I'll be ready for Royal Rumble tomorrow. Follow me on social media, man, at JD from NY 206 on social media, Twitter and Instagram. JD from New York on Twitch. Patreon.com/JD from NY 206. If you guys want to support the podcast, optional. It is completely up to you if you guys want to do that. And hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Harrys.com/script. $13 trial for free. Harrys.com/script. Audibletrial.com/offthescript for your free audio book. Make sure you guys go and support Audible, man. 30 days free of their service, one free audio book of your choice, over 200,000 choices to choose from, a lot of which are wrestling related. And if you guys don't feel Audible's for you, you can cancel within the 30 days and keep your audio book for free, man. Audibletrial.com/offthescript. And last but certainly not least, WrestleRumble.com. Get your pick'ems in tonight for NXT and for the Royal Rumble tomorrow night, man. I am getting out of here. Thank you guys so very much for everything, and I will see you all tonight for NXT TakeOver Phoenix, and I will see you tomorrow for the Royal Rumble. So make sure you guys are following me on Twitter. We're going to be live tweeting, and we're going to be doing Royal Rumble big tomorrow night, man. Thank you guys so very much, and I'll see you all for the big shows coming up this weekend. I'll talk to you all later. Oh, man. Oh. Hey, asshole! I just want to know how long you're going to continue to suck the dick of a company that has not even started up yet. All you've been doing lately is talking AEW, and purposely shit on Raw just to try and persuade fans to jump ship. Are you gonna talk shit about AEW if they land a TV deal and put on bad shows? No. As far as I'm concerned, you suck the elite dick just as much as Dave Meltzer does. You even do marketing on your shitty new t-shirt of the AEW logo and colors. I can almost guarantee you that if the elite asked you to suck all of their dicks, you would absolutely do it without even guessing twice. Don't nobody watch or listen to your boring ass podcast to hear good things. That's why you purposely shit on the WWE, because you know that's the only way you can get people's attention. You low-life piece of steaming hot shit. Go to hell, you bitch-ass, dirty-ass, hoe-ass, bum-ass, musty-ass, faggot-ass, lame-ass, dick-in-the-booty, little bitch. No pussy, getting-ass, fuck nigga, you pure definition of a fuckboy. You are a shitty human being, and karma is a motherfucker. That's why you're going bald at the top of your head.